Hey everyone, Chaps here, and here's a few tips and tricks to help people who are new to Gears multiplayer. As a quick note, it was hard to find pre-launch matches, so the background here is just from my first 2 matches of Reloaded. Sorry if it doesn't match up with what I'm discussing, but hey, some footage is better than no footage. And I'll say that if you're a longtime viewer, most of these tips aren't for you, except for maybe the last one. Gears campaign can be friendly to new players, but multiplayer is far from that. Most of these tips are really intended for new players trying to get into Gears multiplayer for the first time. The first tip I have is pretty standard for most games. If you haven't played Gears before, start with the campaign. You'll get used to the controls. I won't dive too deep into that here. For that you can check out the video I did on campaign. But the main mechanics that you're going to want to get used to there are center screen shooting, right-hand advantage, and cover management. Which, if you stick around, I've got a tip later to discuss with the center screen shooting aspect. Once comfortable enough with the mechanics, I'd move into a King of the Hill style mode. There's 3 of them, and I'll break them down here shortly. But I just want to say that I suggest King of the Hill for a few main reasons. First off, it's a respawn mode. You're likely to die a lot, so this will keep you in the action. Second, there's an objective other than killing people, which in theory is what people are going after. It's going to keep people from spawn trapping you. People are also probably going to hate me for saying this, but when you're first starting out, I'd honestly play this like it was TDM, and the hill is just a waypoint to get you into the action. As you grow more comfortable, get into the hill, but to start off, just staying alive near the action is quite an accomplishment. So I mentioned that there's 3 main variations of King of the Hill. The best, in my opinion, for starters is NX, which is a King of the Hill type mode where the hill will rotate between various points on the map. I find this best as it will introduce you to various points of interest along the map, rather than just being a stationary hill. Interestingly, this mode is currently only in private matches, so if it's not social matchmaking when you start, I'd gravitate towards the other 2. King of the Hill is probably my second recommendation. Here you cap the ring and earn points until the enemy breaks it. Alternatively, you could play Blitz, which requires you to stay in the hill in order to capture points. But for new players, I think King of the Hill is better. Just to hit on the others quickly, Assassination can be fun, but it's really not played much. TDM can be fine, and new players tend to enjoy that, but dying a lot quickly can eat through your team's shared respawn pool, and your teammates are going to hate you, and people spawn trap, and people like it, but I just don't think it's a great experience for new players. Execution and Warzone are a staple of Gears, with quick single life rounds, and once you have your footing, this is a great game type and one of my favorites. Lastly, 2v2 Gnashers is a really fun mode, but it's highly competitive, so new players likely won't be having much luck in there. Alright, so you're starting to get used to the game in King of the Hill. What are you doing? Well, Gears multiplayer really focuses on the Gnasher, and you want to work your way there. But when just starting out, I'd suggest focusing on map awareness. What are the routes? Where can people flank? Where can you crossfire? Stick with the Lancer for a little bit, and really try to understand the space around the hill. As you rotate hills or rotate maps, you'll slowly expand your knowledge. And as important as Gnasher skill is in Gears, the situational awareness and map knowledge are a cornerstone of impactful play. On that note, it's not just about knowing the map, but tracking players and weapons. Use Tac-Com frequently. Always know how many people are alive and what power weapons are available. Oh, and spot enemies. People don't do that enough, and it's really helpful. I always like to keep track in the back of my mind. How many teammates do I have left or around me? How many enemies are left and around me? If a squad comes from here, what will I do or where will I go? What about if they come from here? And as you start just learning the map, just naturally build up the habit of planning your next move and contingency plans. So you feel decent about the map now, and you're growing tired of people complaining about your Lancer fire. I guess it's time to give the Gnasher a try. There's 3 basic things to master when it comes to the Gnasher. First is hipfire accuracy, second is range, and third is movement. I honestly can't help you with movement. It's just something that takes practice, and even after 19-ish years, I'm still a scrub. Bouncing from cover to cover will help you move quicker and evade fire. But, I can't even describe how you know what to do and where you're gonna go. If you want more tips, maybe look up one of the pro players and they can help, but honestly, it's going to be a personal preference and practice thing. Just do what feels good, get used to it, and once you're comfortable, start trying new things. The only special thing I'll really add about the movement here is to really consider your positioning and right-hand advantage. Because of the camera positioning, it's always advantageous to move counterclockwise around corners. This may sound odd, but if you play for any amount of time, you'll quickly learn that one direction is easier than the other. So when moving around and positioning yourself, just keep that in mind. Range was the second point I brought up, and that too is trial and error. Learn the range of the Gnasher. How far away can you be for a one-hit kill? What about a two-shot down? Most people tend to go for the one-shot body, and that's often the most effective, especially if you're linking kills and getting a bunch of multi-kills. But when just starting out, sometimes the two-shot down is better. Just play it safe. And as sort of a bonus tip here, don't feel the need to always be the aggressor. Sometimes it's advantageous just to let people come to you. Many games out there encourage you to take the offensive, and honestly, that's quite fun. But sometimes the defensive role can work out to your advantage. Now, as you start to move into the one-shot kill territory, though, the aspect of hip-fire accuracy will be king. That's right, when using the Gnasher, most people are actually hip-firing. They're not aiming with the left trigger. And this, well, this takes practice. Unless... Here's the one dirty secret that sweaty players hate. Tape. Yes, tape. Preferably something like masking tape, or painter's tape. So hear me out. Gears 1, UE, and Reloaded all use center screen aiming. Many of us longtime fans have grown used to barrel shot, where the bullets come from the gun and follow the direction the gun is pointing. But no, this comes out of the center of the screen and travels straight out from there. Honestly, if you play a lot of FPS games, or even some of the other third-person games, this may feel normal and give you an advantage. But if you're struggling to place shots when blind firing, try using tape. Just take a small piece of tape and stick it to the center of your screen. So take out your snub and hard aim. Get a little piece of tape about the size of your crosshair and place it right over the snub crosshair. Now sit back and hip fire. It shoots right at the tape. Obviously some are going to view this as cheating, and I mean it sort of is, let's be honest. Well, let's just say these are training wheels. Many of us have played Gears for years. Maybe we should give new players a break. Oh, and I probably don't need to say this, but just as with training wheels, yeah, you can hopefully remove the tape eventually. Use it to get used to positioning, and then take it off and learn to play without the training wheels. When I went from playing Gears 4 and 5 for a really long time to going back to the Reloaded beta, that was my first time going back to center screen. I put a little piece of tape on my screen for the first 2 games, and it helped me recalibrate myself and get used to it. And then I could take it off and I was fine. Sure, I felt a little bad about doing it, but it was really helpful and helped me adjust faster. As a side note, something else that you could do here that's less cheating than using tape is just taking a little bit of damage. You'll notice that after you take your first shot, your omen starts to fill up, and you guessed it, it's in the middle of your screen. Use that as a reticle, and just point that at people and shoot. It's not ideal, you need to take damage, but hey, it helps. Again, I want to emphasize that I am by no means claiming to be an amazing player. I mean, even the footage you're seeing here, I'm at the top of the leaderboard for my team, but I'm playing against a lot of people who probably haven't played Gears very much. I'm above average, and I do pretty well most of the time, but I'm nothing compared to the actual good players. But maybe for this video, that's an advantage. Hopefully this perspective and going back to some of the basics can help some of you out. If you made it this far and you did find this helpful, a like and subscribe would be much appreciated and help boost visibility for others. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.